Prairies covered over 1,000 square miles when the first European settlers arrived in Ohio. Today, less than 1% of Ohio's native prairies still remain. Hi, I'm Jackie Driscoll, and I'm a Medina County Master Gardener. Welcome to our prairie. It's around 8 acres of native grasses and forbs. We planted it 11 years ago and get more joy out of it than we ever imagined possible. The roots of our native prairie grasses and flowers are deep. Compared to turf grass, which is a few inches deep, the roots of native grasses and flowers are several feet. They help control soil erosion into our streams and local wastewater facilities. The prairie is also a haven for bees. When you sit quietly in the prairie, you can actually hear it. The bees are so abundant that the prairie itself seems to buzz. The honeybees love the spiderwort and the mountain mint, but the honeybee is not native to North America. It was brought here from Europe in the 17th century. We do have 400 to 500 species of bees that are native. These bees have co-evolved for thousands of years with our native plants and are invaluable to our ecosystem and economy. 75% of North American plants require an insect, usually a bee, to move their pollen from one plant to the next to effect pollination. In almost all crops, native bees, not honeybees, are either the primary pollinator or significantly supplement the activity of honeybees. Even Ohio crops like cotton, soybean, and peppers that don't need a pollinator have higher yields if they're visited by bees. Like the honeybee, native bee populations are also in trouble. At least half of North America's 40 species of bumblebees are in decline. What used to be a very common bumblebee, the rusty-patched bumblebee, is now found in very small numbers in isolated areas and has completely disappeared from most of its range. In 2017, it was listed as endangered under the U.S. Endangered Species Act. There is not enough data at this point, but it's safe to assume that many of the smaller species are also suffering decline. Pesticide use, habitat loss, and climate change all contribute to the loss in diversity and abundance, but the U.S. Geological Survey says loss of plant diversity is the primary cause of native bee decline. At least 30% of all native bees are what are called pollen specialists. Specialist bees have evolved a specific relationship with one plant family, and some with a specific species in a family. For example, the longhorn bee is solely dependent on the tall purple ironweed that blooms late summer, but another 26 species are content with many species as long as they are in the aster family. Most people, including me until recently, would have considered the ironweed nothing more than a weed, but without their host plant, these bees simply will not survive. The prairie provides a rich and diverse plant population for so many species of bees.
You can help feed the bees and other pollinators too. You don't need to install a huge prairie, but you can consider adding some prairie plants to your landscape. Visit go.osu.edu/feedbees for information on adding plants to your landscape.